All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the official Trade Talk channel where I show you how I analyze price for the most consistent and higher probable entries to help you all become better traders. Today, we got a little bit of volatility in the markets outside of yesterday's FOMC meeting. We did have a few other central banks that did their interest rate decisions as well. We do currently have the BOJ up next, or they've already announced. I can't find the data on this. We had a BOE interest rate decision this morning at 7 o'clock. Everything came in line there. Took a trade on that already this morning during the London session open. I was just looking for that to be the low of day. We'll talk about that a little bit. And here we are on the dollar. This is yesterday's FOMC meeting. You can see how price basically retraced, made a fresh daily high yesterday. And then today you have completely given back all of those gains that you got from the FOMC meeting. This comes in line with what we were looking at for the dollar to play out. If you remember yesterday when we were doing the live stream during the news, we were discussing the fact that maybe whatever the move is on the actual day, you don't see the real move until the next day. It appears as of right now, they're looking to hit the dollar hard. So what does that mean for Bitcoin and Ethereum? Well, as far as Ethereum goes, Ethereum has just made a fresh daily high. If you come over here to the daily time frame, you can see that you're coming into yesterday's open, and that area could act as a little bit of resistance. We don't currently have an area to look for any trades on either Ethereum or Bitcoin. Down here on Bitcoin, if you go out to the daily time frame, you're going to see that we did indeed break down and close below that support that I said I did not want to see break. And currently, you're testing weekly support. Here's your weekly time frame. That is definitely needs to be over there. So you can see that's basically what you're bouncing off of right here. You haven't tested it yet, but it does appear as if though you are having a little bit of difficulty up here. You also have the supply from yesterday's news print. You can see there that this area is also holding as potential resistance. Now, taking a short here with the dollar getting crushed today would probably not be the best scenario, but we can definitely pull up some volume profile here and see that people do appear to be buying this today. The amount of volume that's coming in now up here will more than likely have this point of control shift to up here. And then if you take out support, being this intraday support zone right there, then we could potentially look for a stab back up into a resistance and or supply and see if we can find us a short entry based solely on yesterday's breakdown. Now, with this being said, we know that traps exist, all right? We know they exist, so there is potential for this to be a trap. The problem is it's a bearish engulfing candle, and you're in a macro downtrend, and you're in a short-term downtrend. The last 3-day order flow's bearish. I mean, and there's really not much good news out there. So we'll see if today ends up being a trap. In order to make today a trap, you got to take out yesterday's high, and that's all the way up there. Is it possible you do it today? Probably not likely. But in the next 3 or 4 days, you could. So if you do get back up there, then you will be looking or potentially looking to buy supports. We definitely don't like shorting into support, but we broke down. Yesterday, we showed you that monthly support, weekly support had already been broken down. So now we are testing weekly support pretty much to see if the supply kicks back up there or not. If it does, we're going to take a short entry and we're going to be targeting today's low. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. ForexLive.com. Japan, the interest rate. Intervene after examining overall trend. Well, we'll get into it, Wes, because a lot of these things have moved a lot, right? Let's go over here and look at our currency futures. Oh, that's not the right watch list. And here is the Swiss franc. You can see having a massive day to the downside here. Swiss franc. Here is the euro. You can see that you're getting a slight bounce. The pound right there, I took the long down here at the point of control And then here's your Japanese yen getting a strong bounce. Now this thing has been so weak lately. It's about time it does get a bounce and trade up a little bit. I'm assuming you're running out of sellers in this market. So we'll see how this plays out today. There's Canadian dollar, and then New Zealand, and then here is Aussie. Aussie also getting a pretty decent move this morning intraday. I mean, you sold off yesterday, and you're trading right back up to roughly around the 618 retracement. If you test yesterday and today, you're into that zone. But that's typically not the way I like to do it. The way I like to do it is I like to fib the daily range, and you can see that you're into the 50% retracement of yesterday's range, and also you have the point of control coming in there right where price is essentially reversed. But it does look like it is trying to go higher, and we will watch it and see if it does go higher. Let's see if we can find something to trade. Ethereum pushing up. We don't really, I guess the only thing that we have to watch on Ethereum is going to be there. That's just yesterday's open. So if we start closing hourly candles above that, we don't want anything to do with the asset. Up here, I have a trend line. So let's go up here, show you this. You're trading in a channel here. Yesterday, you broke down, closed below it. So you're coming back into trend line, potential trend line resistance as well as yesterday's open. And that's pretty much where we're expecting it to roll over if you're going to have downside continuation. Remember, if the dollar plays out with the three drive topping formation that we discussed yesterday, it's going to be weak overall or weaker overall, and that could help put a bid under risk markets. So that's currently what we're watching. We just need to wait and be patient and let the markets set up. Let's go check out the pound trade real fast. All right, so basically what I was watching, I got up because Pepe decided to puke on me this morning. So I had to get up and clean that mess up, and then I decided to take a look at the charts because it was 3 o'clock. It was the London Open. So we know, well, people that follow and subscribe to this channel know that the London session usually puts in the lower high of day. So basically, I was just assuming that this was going to be the low of day. You can see here intraday support. You put in a down close candle. That is a trap when and only when you take out this candle's high. So if we go into the 5-minute time frame, you're going to see how this played out. So the best entry, obviously, the low tick would have been more sexy, but we need to basically wait and see if our trap has confirmed itself. So my entry is in here, right? Once we started to push up right into this, I decided to go ahead, throw a long position on. I put my stop loss under the low of day. It was a very wide stop, a lot wider than I usually shoot for. But it is what it is, right? I couldn't take the trade until it confirmed the trap. So I went ahead through the long entry in. It was a 25 pip stop loss. Went back to sleep, woke up here. So on this push right here, we knew that we had we knew that there was an interest rate meeting coming up at 7 a.m. And you can see right in here at the bottom of the screen, 640, 650. And then 10 minutes before the news, I closed 2/3 of the position, moved my stop to break even. So if it wants to roll back over, there is 79% of retail is currently long this asset, but they've been long this asset more than 70% for the last 3 weeks, right? And this has only been going lower. So several times people have tried to pick the bottom on this asset. They have been constantly and consistently losing money. It's only when I decide to attack it does it do what we want it to do. But anyways, so far the trade's working out nicely. There is an 8-hour demand here. If we look at the daily time frame, daily doesn't look good. The daily looks like you could still see sell side intervention come in at yesterday's open, but the 8-hour looks phenomenal, right? You got a big bullish engulfing here. 8-hour demand setting there at that little white line. come back into the hourly time frame, you can see you wicked down pretty close to it. The reason you didn't get a full-on tag is because of this little old resistance level right there. That's where you tagged to perfection, and then you got the bounce up, and you're currently seeing price trade away. So this was a potential buying opportunity. Just give me 1 second here. All right, so right here it is. Just bear with me right here. This morning inside of the Trade Talk Discord, there might be another chance on it. It is coming into 8-hour demand. By the time I had posted this, you can see the wick there. It had already done that move, and it really did not come back in at all for the test. You can see the 5-minute flattened out here for a good hour, and it didn't come back into it. And that's what we were waiting for, to re-engage this with a potential bullish entry. And then finally here, there is, wait a minute, that is not it. What is this? I gotta fix this. This isn't my default browser. So here is that entry. You can see roughly 1.12368. That's where I took the entry. Right in here, 10 minutes before the news, I decided to take profits, and I have since moved that stop up to break even. So that's roughly right in there. Pretty decent entry, pretty decent trade. So, obviously I don't want to give back that money if I don't have to, but it is Thursday, and Thursday is when we do the public live streams for YouTube. So we are definitely trying to find ourselves a trade entry this morning. So just bear with me, be patient, and we will find something to trade. All right, this is yesterday's open on Ethereum. Currently, Ethereum's up 5.37%. If we go over here to Algo, you're going to see that this thing is up big today. It is up 27% from this week's low. That's not the right one. Here you go. So this is your weekly range. Currently, there 0.2882 is your weekly low, and you are currently up 29.38% on the week. Obviously, I don't suggest you buy this coming into weekly resistance and daily resistance. Is this a short? Man, I don't know. It's very strong. We could potentially try to take a swing on it if, in fact, it does hold. Let me pull it up over here on the Bitget exchange. We use Bitget here on this YouTube channel. If you're not familiar, there is a referral link in the description. If you too would like to use them, make sure you use referral code XTSC. That is X-Ray Tango Sierra Charlie. They have 0 KYC. They also have the cheapest fees than any other exchange. They are licensed in the US, so it's a good exchange to use. Their fills are decent most of the time. Yesterday we did take a long trade live on while the FOMC was going on, and my fill was terrible. But when you have a lot of volatility coming into the market in such a quick amount of time, yeah, that's to be expected. So we're going to keep an eye on Algo here. It is up, like I said, big on the day. Bitget says that it's up over 11%. And currently on this, you can see that it says this is up 18.81%. Big, strong move to the upside. So maybe we can get a scalp down here in this region, and we could take a little bit of profits. But we're going to watch this. I would prefer, you don't have any support here. This is still currently ripping. To try to short this right now is not going to be a safe move. What we could potentially wait on is see if we get a push up, make a fresh daily high, then roll over. Maybe that occurs around 9:30. So we'll be live until then. Buckle up, get comfortable, grab yourself a drink, coffee if it's morning, alcohol if it's evening, because we're here. All right, so got it pulled up, got algo pulled up over here on Bitget. So let's go back over to our watch list. Euro USD having a nice move, not quite getting back above parity. Parity is up here, so we'll see if it does climb its way back up there. Obviously today, a lot of these moves could just simply be bounces after the fact. We do have a descending wedge here on the Euro USD. We were looking for 2 weeks ago's low. That's this low right there. We were watching that yesterday to be liquidated, and then we were looking for the break back in the up direction to do the liquidation break setup that we discuss all the time on this channel, and it did not happen. You indeed closed yesterday down below that line. You are above it briefly today. One way you could trade this is if you think it is going to go back to the upside. Descending wedges are typically looked at for bullish breakout potential. If you want to trade that, you could potentially take your long entry there. You're going to have a very wide stop if you think it's going to continue up at 50 pips or so. That means you would have to aim for 100 pips in order to be 2 to 1. That puts you roughly right up there around yesterday's open. So, I mean, this doesn't look like anything to me. This looks like a pullback opportunity in order to get short. You're trading right into the 618 retracement of yesterday's range. Typically not a good area to look to get long. So we might have a short setup right here on the Euro USD as well. Yeah, so we'll see how this closes here in 37 minutes. If we close under it, then we'll watch 0.98795 for potential short entries, taking that at an intraday resistance. Government intervening on the yen. They are buying yen. Kind of feel like the weekly lows are in bearish assets. Yeah, it's possible, but it's Thursday. You know what I mean? It's Thursday. A lot of these moves, to me, just look like they could be looked at as an opportunity to sell the spike. Remember what I said yesterday? Excuse me. If you close below that daily support, then any rally is going to be met with sellers. You can see the sellers kicking up here. They still haven't transferred the point of control up to this region. Your last hourly close was above this one. So we can't jump in the short just yet. We need to see a bearish reaction, preferably after making a fresh daily high. This candle is your 4 o'clock a.m. candle. 3 o'clock is here. So this is your London session expansion is up. So a lot of times if you're going to see a bullish day during the New York session, it's best to look for support tests in order to get long. But we don't know that if that's what the market's got in store for today. But like I said, here you can't really take a short here because you're showing bullish continuation. But let's just go ahead and see here. All right, so yeah, it's a bid day. You got 11,000 Bitcoins being purchased already versus only 7,000 sold. So you got a lot more bids currently, or a lot more buy orders today than you did sell orders. So maybe it doesn't make sense to look for shorts on Bitcoin today. The best scenario for me would be to wait till it gets back down here to daily support and then look to buy that. Might not happen today. It might not happen until next Monday. It might not even happen. It just depends on what happens after this. But there's your outside day yesterday. Previous day, took out the high, then you immediately went down and took out the lows. That is typically a bearish signal. So this looks like a pullback only to me. We'll keep our eyes on it. This hourly close above that could just simply be a trap. If we do get a bearish candle dropping down, taking out the low of this hour, then we could look for a pullback up into this candle's open for short side entries, because that would indeed cement supply here. And that also would be nice to see the point of control migrate up to there. That were to occur, then we could look to take the short entry and at the very least target intraday support at 18,669. But algo is definitely the big mover today, so we're gonna throw his butt up on the watch list. USD CAD, massive breakout yesterday. Here you go, breaking out of this a long-term channel, rising channel, if you will. Broke out a couple times, but not really getting any bullish continuation. Notice how you break out here, you take out resistance, you get 1 day for a pullback only, and then gone. Well, to be fair, this day also, but on this bearish day, you did indeed make a fresh high. So that's what bullish continuation looks like. If this were to occur for us on the dollar, then we would have known that our 3 drive topping formation was indeed not playing out. But the fact that we did break out above it and now we're back under it, as long as daily resistance holds from here on out, you do have a 3 drive topping formation potentially in the works. And you could look to be a seller at 111 spot 351, or be a buyer on the euro if you can't trade that. This looks way worse. This looks like downside continuation, but we know that traps exist, and we like to sell the top of the ranges. We don't like to sell the bottom of the range because we know traps exist, and we know this is support. It's not objective support because it's a trend line, but it is it is support. We have no weekly levels down here. We have literally nothing to give us that objective support in order to be a buyer. So I will look to play this via the pound or some other way, right? The pound is up 0.5% on the day. Pretty good size move, but needs to close above yesterday's open for me to love it for bullish continuation. But as long as we get USD strength, here is the USD JPY. That is a fantastic looking candle for downside continuation. So we could watch wherever this thing makes the low. I don't think you'll get a pullback all the way up into there, to be honest with you. So watch 142.604 moving on this thing. And the Aussie Cad Trade just is not playing out. I posted about this Aussie Cad Trade here on September the 12th. We were looking for shorts. We did take the short on this day. It did play out beautifully, but that position has been stopped out. You can see here that after we made this nice move to the downside, we could not get any downside continuation here. Instead, what happened is the very next day, we broke back up above previous resistance, came back in here for a retest, and got another bullish expansion right back up into this resistance. This still can be a trade to the downside. So if you did not make it, wait for today's closure. If you close above, tomorrow you want to see a downside move, cementing this bullish day as a trap. So don't buy it or don't sell it this morning because the trap hasn't played itself out yet. And there is also room for a stop run above 0.89627. You got to get above that and then reject. But it's starting to look less and less like a trade to the downside. I was hoping it would have already taken place. We had longer term bearish targets of 0.87, 365. This could simply be Canadian dollar weakness is the reason we can't get anything going. But we do know that the Aussie dollar was seeing just a little bit of a bullish day today. So with the Aussie being a little bit stronger on the day, with the Canadian dollar being down on the day, well, so is this. These assets are both down significantly still on the day, even though you've had this big rally. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Clear and obvious trend to the downside. That's why it's making it very difficult for the short trade to play out. Also, Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. This was a short I took yesterday on this asset. It was playing out beautifully. And then yesterday during the FOMC, it traded right back up, stopped me out of my short trade, and did that. You bastard. Man, that sucks because that's a big ass move. You're looking at 3.2% to the downside. That is an astronomical move in Forex. Let me get Pepe out of here. I'll be right back. All right. So yeah, an astronomical move there on the CAD yen. I mean, there's only been a few times since I've been trading FX that I've seen assets trade down 3% in one day. That is 3 o'clock. That is your London session open there. What a move. What a Pepe, I'm gonna kick your ass. All right, just stick around. I don't care. You're fine. All right, so good mornings. Good mornings. Lots of look at algo on the weekly. Yeah, it's up 27%. There's nothing that can be said other than it's moving really big. Big strong week. Straight up. On this one, it's not. This isn't the same one. We need to Bitget. We need to Bitget one. There we go, because it's actually got the resistance level there. So this is what it looks like on the 5-minute. You're trading at weekly resistance here. Your point of control is still down there. We need to see it move or migrate up. Let us know that there's actually selling going on. Currently, you have 32.28 million algos being bid and 22 million algos being sold. So clearly overweighted to the bullish side. Trying to short a strong asset like with that much buying going on is not usually what we want to do. I got to do something with him or he is not going to stop. All right, see here. Yeah, a lot of buying going on algo. Makes it a bit difficult to want to short it. But if it holds here, we'll keep an eye on it. We definitely got it pulled up over on the exchange. Yeah, big, strong move. Hope you're recovering. I'm working on it. It's not completely recovered, but I am working on it. Shorted algo 0.3838. Got out at 0.3677. Small scalp. Not bad. Good morning, Drew. Good morning, Run DMC. Yo Joe Blogs. Travis. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I love him too. He just if I don't do what he wants, he'll just sit there and meow nonstop. You know, cats only meow to their mothers and their owners. They don't meow to each other. Yeah, I know. Yep. It's their way to communicate with us. There's a scientific study out there that says the purring thing they do is also specifically aimed at humans. It was a show on Netflix. All right, I'm trying to get stuff out of the way for him so he can lay still and be quiet. All right, so yeah, watch that price right there. If you still want to short algo, stop above the high of day. Remember, when the New York Open at 9:30 occurs, there is a slight probability that you can spike up there and make a fresh daily high, if nothing else, to liquidate the early morning shorts, which, you know, it was 3 hours ago, so it's not looking like a short. It's just not. I think Ethereum or something like Bitcoin would be better suited for a short entry. Bitcoin is definitely my favorite as far as being at a major level, which is old weekly support. And that's what we like to do. We look for the trades at the high probable areas. Right now, the only thing you got on algo, well, it is weekly and daily resistance on this exchange, but on other exchanges, it's not. And if the S&P 500 stays bullish, or it's not bullish for sure, here is what happened during FOMC, and you're still trading under it. Whereas some assets have traded well back up into when we got the news. The S&P 500 is lagging. Let's go look at the other indices. We'll look at least this isn't open yet, probably. Where is there we go. Yeah, so there you are. This is lagging as well. This looks like a short. NASDAQ looks like a great opportunity here because you're lagging everything else, and plus you have set in an intraday resistance and then a lower one as well. So as long as you're not able to close an hourly candle above 11,725, you're probably going to see a little bit more downside. And if we do get that downside on NASDAQ and the S&P 500, then our short trade on, say, Bitcoin or Ethereum, possibly even algo, would work out a little bit better. Let's see what we have over here on the Bitget exchange. Notwithstanding algorithm or algorand, you can see here ARU is up 6% on the day. Another potential candidate if and only if risk rolls over. Right now, with what we are seeing on the dollar, that's not what I'm thinking. I have a massive bearish bias on the dollar, so that's only going to help risk if that plays out. If you have an asset that you are watching that is on your watch list and you are looking for a trade idea, give me that asset. Make sure you give me the time frame and what you're looking for, and we'll go check it out. What about Matic for a short? Let's go look at it. Just bear with me. Coming off of a really bullish month in July. August, you've seen just a pullback month in September as well. Not really anything going there for it. Weekly, it looks okay. You're into the weekly open. Pretty close to it. So, yeah, I mean, I like it potentially here for a short. Right there's that weekly level. And then if you go over here, you can see that you are cooperating there. You did close above here, but remember, if this bearish candle takes out that low, then you could look at the probabilities shaping out better for the short trade. So once that occurs, if that occurs, we'll throw this one on watch. Good call, Film Garden. If that occurs, we'll be looking for entries at 0.7502. Do not front run it unless you take out. Don't front run it. Wait for that low to be taken out. There is a possibility that it doesn't come back and give you an entry if that occurs, but you gotta approach this in a smart fashion. You can't chase price ever. But it is definitely going on watch. Let me look at the Bitget one instead of Binance, because we are going to be taking the entry on Bitget. Yeah, on Bitget it's different. Much different. Just the technical setup itself is different. So we'll keep our eyes on this one here. I got Algo up on watch over there. So we want to see 74.65 taken out. Ethereum is, just still doing Ethereum things. So you just took out made a fresh high of day, so that's pretty good. It just happened an hour ago. So maybe that's a good enough for the liquidity run if it is going to go lower. If you continuously make fresh daily highs, you're on the wrong side of the market if you're trying to short it. I like where the point of control is also. So we're going to keep this on watch for the short entry. That's a nice little spike back up into supply. So we'll see if it holds here. So the entry, if you do take out 74.65, the entry would be upon a pullback of 74.502, and then your stop is going to be above high of day, and that price, if you're just listening, would be 75.62. Can't take it just yet because it isn't really showing us that the sellers are here. Let's just see. Lots of volume being thrown down up here. Fantastic. Yeah, this is my favorite one. Good call, Filmatic. Good call, man. This is definitely the one to watch for the short setup. Definitely. Let me pull it up over on Bitget. Once again, if you're new, we have an affiliate link for Bitget. It is the cheapest platform for fees. If you are taking multiple trades in a week, you ought to think about changing your platform or your exchange to a smaller feed. Get the leverage and everything situated here. Yep. We're going to watch this one. This one is the one I like the best for the short trade. Thoughts on ADA USD? Let's go look at it. Or you said just USD. So we'll look at that on Coinbase. It's currently up today right around 4%. You're above daily resistance. So there's no short on it. And you're pushing up to yesterday's high. You are trading inside of yesterday's range, but still you need to get under 0.4526 in order to potentially be short. That's really close to the weekly open as well. Last week was a nice down move, and you just tested support. That's why you're bouncing, right? You traded all the way down to weekly support there, and that's where the buyers were setting. You can see that right there, traded back down, and then ultimately the buying overwhelmed the selling, and now you're trading back up at intraday resistance. But you don't have a high probable level to base your trade idea off of, is what I'm trying to say. Yes, it could work, but I would have to see it at least stall out and fail back under 45.26. So this might be a short setup, but it just might be tomorrow. Wes wants to know how I feel about shorting oil as it is at resistance. I don't see daily resistance, Wes. Maybe you're looking at a different asset than me, but you're not at daily resistance yet. Shorting it up there, if that's what you're saying, yeah, potentially. We do have a bearish bias on oil, but our trade was last week over here. We took the short, or discussed the short on the live stream there, and it worked out really good 2 days later. Algo trying to get above intraday resistance. And Matic pushing back up there to that weekly resistance. Well, it's not weekly resistance. It's last week's close. Last week's close and this week's open. So if you're going to see downside continuation, you want to see it here. And you've already made a fresh daily high last hour, and you currently have the volume on your side. Obviously, if you close an hourly above this last hour's open, above its high, it's going to look like bullish continuation. Let's see if we can get the numbers to pull themselves up here. Terrible internet. And it is storming outside as well, so that's not helping things. The bids are stronger here. People are buying the It never ceases to amaze me. People are literally buying this thing into resistance. Could you please look at Swiss yen? It had a massive move today. Yeah, we'll look at it, but there's no trade on it. We don't like to trade when it's already had. Oh, Swiss USD. We don't typically want to trade it once it's already had the big ass move. Right? We are looking to get in before the big move happens. But, yeah, you could look for downside continuation. They did rate hikes this morning right here. Switzerland, the SNB, that is the Swiss National Bank, their actual and forecast. So they did 0.5%. That's why you had a big move lower. Maybe the market wanted a higher number. Maybe they wanted 0.75%. And since it was only 0.5%, you're getting crushed. But to be fair, this thing has been uber bullish for a very long time. Very long time. These are weekly candles. You can see that move really started to take place around when the bear market started for Bitcoin and S&P 500 in November. There's something else I wanted to say about that real quick. There's a lot of stuff going around on Twitter about Bitcoin's bear market starting in April. A lot of bigger influencers are talking about that. I don't understand how that would give you an edge saying that the bear market lasted or started here. The only thing saying that the bear market started in April does for you is it destroys your bias on the 4-year market cycles. But if you look at what really transpired, you made a fresh all-time high in November. An all-time high usually isn't made in a bear market. Okay? It isn't. Like, it's not made in a bear market. You don't make all-time highs in bear markets. You make all-time lows in bear markets. But the reason that I claim that November is where the market became bearish is because that's when the FOMC, or that's when the Fed started their monetary policy change, right? They went from uber bullish monetary policy to bearish monetary policy here in attempt of trying to get in front of rising and not transitory inflation. So this is when the bear market started for Bitcoin. This is also when the bear market started for risk assets, being the NASDAQ, Dow Jones, S&P 500. The bear market started in November. And since that's the case, the 4-year market cycle model is still intact, right? So whether you believe it anymore or not is irrelevant. But the facts are facts. You don't make all-time highs in bear markets. You make them in bull market, or you make them in bear. You make all-time lows in bear markets. Prices generally going lower. That's what the definition of a bear market is. So we like to say that November called the high. Therefore, we can still say the 4-year market cycle is still intact, whether you want to believe it or not. I can show you that it is still intact. I mean, November, December has called the market cycle bull market tops in all of Bitcoin's bull markets. Every single one of them. Every single one. And I mean, there's no argument against that. But there is on-chain data that suggests that, you know, a lot of stuff went on over here. And that's why people are saying that the bear market started here. And that's why they're saying the 4-year cycle market, 4-year market cycle model is broken. But it's not. The bull market, the all-time high was made in November. 69 grand. All right, so you're trading up into your weekly resistance level there. I would definitely like to see this stall out. We can't take the short on it just yet, not with this kind of price action occurring. This is definitely bullish. You can see risk over here is climbing. Algo over here is climbing. Bitcoin, Ethereum, probably both climbing. We need to see this low taken out. Then our chances of a short entry become a higher likelihood. I wouldn't short it right now because you just don't know where the daily high is yet, if that makes sense. Good morning, Heath. Good morning, K4 Liberty. ARP into daily resistance from May. Is that a crypto? I don't know if it's a crypto or not. This says AMP. I don't know if it's a stock. XRP, not ARP. Yeah. Oh, XRP's got a lot of stuff going on right now with the trial and whatnot. Oh yeah, it's been uber bullish. There's no trade on it. There is no trade on it. Your best chances for taking long entries are on your bearish days, right? On your bearish days, right there. I mean, you would have been buying the high, but that was the best opportunity there because you traded down to the previous day's open and then rejected. That would have been your bullish entry there. You would have been scared because it came all the way back to your entry a couple hours later. So It would have been nerve-wracking, but had your stops remained under 37,919, you were okay. I know that's in hindsight, but this is the same way we trade day in and day out. You cannot buy the daily high. If you do, you're going to potentially buy the top of the market. And you're trying to change the way you think and process these charts in your mind. You want to process or change that shift to look for bullish entries on bearish days, because that is when you're pulling back into potential support. So if you're in a bullish trend, you are looking to be a buyer on bearish days, right? Not bullish days. You don't want to be a buyer on the bullish day, because if you do buy up here, you're buying my position. You're buying my bags because I'm selling my bags to you. You know what I mean? You are getting long when I am exiting my position. That's what you want to change that thinking. Yeah, it's had a nice move this last week. Very good move, and it's based on the hearing. Right? There's a hearing going on right now with XRP and the SEC. I would love to see XRP win this, obviously, and it's very bullish. Very bullish, but if something negative happens at that trial, this will likely give back most, if not all, of those gains. Is it a possibility that you've seen the bear market low on XRP? Yes, because I'm in the camp that believes we've seen the bear market low on risk, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of it. And I will be wrong when we make fresh bear market or fresh yearly lows. We haven't done that yet. We came very, very close. And to be fair, on Bitcoin, on the CME chart, you did make fresh 2022 lows. So, but I don't trade that contract. I trade on Bitget, not CME. And those lows are still intact. So it's just how you look at it. But yeah, fantastic move on XRP. If you get really good news coming out of this, you could look to be a buyer of roughly around 39,510 if you get the pullback into there, right? Because it's old resistance, and we know that usually or sometimes old resistance will flip to be support. But you got to let price show you that it is indeed. See how we're letting price show us here on this asset that the high of day is likely in. We need to see the trap candle, which is your breakout candle. As of right now, even with this red candle, you still have a breakout on your hands. You have broken out above daily resistance. You have made a fresh daily high, and you are currently trading at resistance, weekly resistance. So we want to see this low taken out to give us a signal. It doesn't mean that the trade will work, but it gives us a signal and allows us to take the entry. We still have to use a stop loss because we don't know what's going to happen. But with everything that we've analyzed on Matic, it seems to be the best setup for today for a short. I can't buy the S&P 500. It's not at support. I can't buy Bitcoin or Ethereum. I'd much rather be a buyer. Always, I would rather be a buyer. Those trades are always the best because you can only make 100% on a short, whereas the amount that you can make on a long is unlimited. It goes on to infinity. You can make 100%, 500%, 1,000% on an asset. So the bullish trade is always the best trade, but right now we just don't have a bullish trade. But XRP looks great. We may have a bullish trade on it if it pulls back into support for sure. We will keep it up, or we will keep our eyes on it to see if that occurs. And Bitcoin is still red on the week. There goes Algo. Remember, Algo is the performer today. Remember I said let it make a fresh daily high. Stop out any early shorts. Once it does that, if you get a bearish reaction, you can take a short on it. But you must wait for that to occur. So we're waiting. We are loaded up. We got everything we need in order to take a position. We just need it to happen. Need it to happen. But get your exchanges loaded up. Get ready, because when I take a position, I'm going to give you the info. We're just kind of waiting here. You got to close there. Here we go. We're pushing up. Let me get Algo over here, since it is the one making the move first. This one isn't my favorite. It is not. Matic is the favorite setup. Algo is too bullish. And it's not into anything, right? Matic's the favorite because it's into weekly resistance. The volume point of control is up at the highs. So we do believe the sellers are here. I can't get the numbers. I think we did get the numbers, and it was the bid was beating. Didn't push up yet. We're getting there, though. Bitcoin been basically trading sideways since 4 a.m. All social media is filled with plain stupid XRP price predictions. People don't seem to understand market cap, calling for 100, 1,000, 15,000. No. XRP is under 30 cents. Trades like at 30 cents a lot. Calling for $100 XRP, that's what, 1,000,000% gain? Yeah, that's not really shouldn't be in it, even in any expectations of that ever happening. You could say $1 for sure. I can see it hitting $1, maybe even $10, but $10 is still a 100x or a 1000x. I'm not the greatest at math. So here you go. We are pushing down to our level that we want to see. When that occurs, we will bring the level up to 75.06, and that will be the entry. Let's go ahead and set this trade up like this. And we just look for 2-to-1 risk to reward. So that'll be right in there, roughly around 73.73 is going to be your target. 75.05 going to be your entry. Stop is going to be 75.70. We can't set up the algo trade, but if we did, it would look like this. I don't know where your stop's going to be, but you can squeak out a 2-to-1 risk to reward. If you make a fresh high and then roll over, you can take that entry at the high and then throw that risk up above whatever the high is. But you definitely want to see it roll over and start to move quickly, rapidly away from the high of day. And that's a beautiful risk to reward target right there. That's where everybody's buying. So that's what we're waiting on. That was a Judas candle, not a Nath. I don't know what a Nath is. I don't know what a Judas candle is. I don't care either. I'm a price action trader, right? I only analyze daily, weekly, monthly, hourly, 4-hourly, weekly, all those. That's it. That's what I do. I analyze what price has been doing, and I make an educated guess as to where it might be going. I don't give a shit what the name of a candle is. Don't care. Pattern traders don't make money. You got to be consistent to make money. Trading cup and handles and everything else is free brack close and all that stuff. I don't know what any of that is. Don't care what it is. If that tells you that this isn't a legit trade, then don't take it. It's your money, not mine. I have already made money today on pound dollar. I made a ton of money already this week. I am only here to help you. I do just fine with this strategy. I squeak out gains all the time. So we're waiting for this still. It's not done it yet. We didn't make a fresh hive day on algo either. But nothing says it has to, right? It doesn't. Nothing says it has to do that. But that's just out of my experience. That's what I would want to see. Liquidating old daily highs and liquidating old daily lows is called a liquidation break trade. You're simply looking to take the trade in the opposite direction once a fresh daily high or a fresh daily low is made. You're looking for the liquidation under the day's lows or highs, and you're looking to take the trade in the opposite direction. It's a very risky strategy because obviously that means you're taking a sell when the asset has just made a fresh daily high, but they work quite often if you're on the right side of the market. I don't love algo. It's up 20%, right? It's very strong. This one's not so bad, but it still isn't doing what we want it to do. We got 25 minutes left on the open of the New York stock market. Yeah, market cap's important. What's the stop on Matic? It's going to be the high of day, which is 75.62. Above that. It doesn't have to be the exact high of day. You're just basically looking that if we take out this low, there's a potential that the buying is done. Remember, most of these markets are bearish. Matic is red on the week. That's what we like. Algo is bullish on the week. You see the difference? You want to take your trades in the direction of the trend whenever possible. Since algo is bearish on the week, we like it better. It is a more clean setup. But we still need to see what we need to see take place. And you're also into resistance, right? You're into resistance up here. This is resistance as well, but the difference is this is very bullish on the week. So, yeah. Bitcoin bearish on the week. So looking for bearish trades is okay. And clearly supply is holding. It has been since 4 a.m. You haven't gotten any downside move yet. But if it can't go higher, it will go lower. I trade, what? You trade the cup and balls pattern? That's nice. Is this likely year high on Dixie, you think? I do. Tom New Sham Fitness needed to hear that. Needed to hear what, my friend? I've heard one other person use the term Judas, and it's the shit, I can't even think of his name yet. He's another YouTuber. But he doesn't call it a Judas candle. He calls it a Judas swing, which just means a stop run above a previous daily high or a previous daily low. That is a Judas swing. So basically the trade that I took on pound dollar this morning was a Judas swing here. There's intraday support. There's your Judas swing. There's your breakdown. There's your breakdown. So breakout traders or breakdown traders, they went short right then and there. Also, anybody that got long over here, this is to stop them out. This is a liquidity generating move, a Judas swing. So basically, it's the fake out. It pushes lower, breaks down below support, and then instantly reverses course because traders like myself got long here. All right? Got long there. I already showed you the trade. It is already done and over with. I have already been paid. It is done. So now it can go wherever it wants. This is the reason why I am a day trader. If it wants to see bullish continuation, I am positioned right there. So if it does see bullish continuation, I will have nailed the low. Right? It's the same concept, just different language. And it is stalling out as well. So I don't know if I would look to be a buyer. I mean, you're bearish, right? You're bearish. You're bearish on the week. You're bearish on the week. You're barely bullish on the day. The last 3 days, order flow is bearish. This would have been a selling opportunity. I wouldn't have taken it there. I would have needed it to get there. Then I could have looked to take a short on it. But the trend is very extended. Very extended. I mean, tons of bullish div going on there. I mean, from this swing to this swing's bullish div as well on the weekly, right? You've had 3 drives of bullish divergence going on there. So I don't like to sell into that. That's typically where people start to look to get long because there's a possibility that the strength of the downside move is running out. We're still waiting for this to take out that candle's low. Obviously, algo's stalling out just a bit, but give it a minute. You got 15 minutes until the open, and the open will be when you get another influx of volume. Give us some patience, lads. Give us some patience. Euro Swissy could be a short. I didn't look at it. Let's go look at it while we're waiting. Another asset that's been trending for months to the downside. You have a bullish engulfing happening today. Yes, bullish engulfings are not the best signal on a down market, but I don't think I would short it either. There is no daily divergence. I mean, you have divergences from over in here, but that's a long time. That's over a year. Almost, yeah, that's a year. So I don't see any divergence. I mean, if this week closes lower than, say, this candle, then you will have bullish div on the weekly. I don't know if I'd take the short, right? It's just it's overextended, and you're printing a bullish candle today. This is based off of the Swiss franc news, the rate decision. Algo's stalling out, but we got to give it a minute. Judas Priest. I almost entered that Matic trade at 20x. Glad I caught myself. Yeah, don't wait for at least a little bit. You'll hear me say that there's no such thing as a confirmation in trading because you can't see into the future. Therefore, nothing that occurs on the chart can be a confirmation. But we will use the word to describe a potential setup. Like, we want to see that low taken out. That does not mean that that's a confirmation that the trade is a sell. It doesn't mean that it's a confirmation that the trade will work. It's just what I need to see in order to then take the entry. As it just basically tells me that there is a propensity for the market to trade lower. And since we're bearish on the week, we're not bearish on the day, but we're bearish on the week. It's a big day today, but you're still trading inside of yesterday's range. So it's not an engulfing, it's an inside day candle, which is good usually for downside continuation. But we will take the trade. That's what we do. We are risk managers. And there's not really much else to do as far as FX. I can't get over that CAD yen freaking stopped me out, and then what a massive move, down 3%. Jeez. But I took the short yesterday. It was a profitable trade yesterday. But it stopped me out after I moved my stop to break even. I was wanting that continuation. Yeah, so we're just sitting here waiting for a second. We'll see how it plays out. Getting the push lower, that's what we want to see. Yeah. Well, we instantly need a pullback into supply, right? That's what we'll need to see to get the entry. Algo would have, we could have taken the risk if it made a fresh daily high. Since it didn't, I can't, right? And it's already almost down to the target, but it didn't provide the entry. That's the problem. But this one will potentially provide an entry. I still wouldn't just short it now and in hopes that it would work out. I need that pullback into the entry. Let me pull it up over here because I had Matic or Algo on the exchange. Yeah, we're just waiting. We're confidently and patiently waiting. Gibberish swing. Yeah. Call it whatever you want. Like I said, you can coin trading terms if you want. I don't care. I don't care what it's called. I care about what it is doing. Let's get Bitcoin. Oh, no, that's Matic. We want Bitcoin over here. Bitcoin struggling. It's not into anything. This was what we had it marked. Yeah, that's what it was. Old weekly support. So this is the first time. Well, I mean, since yesterday, this is the first time that you've retested weekly support since the breakdown, since the close under it, a daily close. So this is an opportunity. Ethereum is above where we were looking on it. Yeah, Ethereum wasn't really into anything, was it? Yesterday's, that's what we were watching. Yesterday's open, it didn't get there. Didn't get there, and I don't take trades based off of trend lines because trend lines are subjective. We use objective levels to take trades off of. Objective, not subjective. Is divergence trading effective? It's I don't take trades based on divergence. I look for divergence to basically help with a narrative, right? I mean, if you got 3 drives of bullish divergence on an asset that's been trending lower for 2 years, there is a potential for it running out of momentum and reversing trend, right? But we don't take the trade based on that narrative. Based on that, we must first, find an objective level, like an old support, to look to trade it. It can give you an idea, though. It can definitely give you a bias. What about Neo? Let's go look at it over here. Are you asking about the car manufacturer, or are you asking about the crypto? The car manufacturer looks pretty bad. You're probably not talking about that. You're probably talking about this. It looks pretty bad too. You're into daily resistance on Neo. Basically, there it is. So now what we're looking for is a retest of 75.05. I will go ahead and throw a limit buy at, let me get the exact price. Limit buy at 75.02. So limit order buy 75.02. And that will be a short. Confirm. So my limit order is out. So if we get a pushback up into this, it will trigger me short. And my stop loss will be 75.67. 0 spot 7569. Sorry, 69. So kind of a wide stop. $62 pips. Way wider than I typically look to take. You could potentially also wait for a retest of 75.45, as that would be intraday resistance. The best place for the entry. But yeah, Neo's into daily resistance. There, it got a bounce like everything else did. But as you can still see, yesterday you broke down and closed under. So this could be a retracement. Or, like I said, if yesterday was a trap, we'll know that when we take out yesterday's high. So looking for short trades today could absolutely be on the wrong side of the market. But the trend is lower. Order flow is bearish. This is currently bullish on the week, Neo. You're at daily res. That's the only level you got. Watch it. If you can't close hourlies above 8.36, then you can look for a potential short. You're up 4% on the day as well. So you could potentially look for a 1 or 2% move back to the downside. You've already closed an hourly above daily resistance, so you would have to watch hourly resistance. You've got multiple opportunities to take the short. You could have taken it at 8 o'clock. You could have taken it at 9 o'clock. And your point of control told you to get short. That was a good one. We just probably missed it. If it comes back up, we could watch it around 8:37. And it was also the point of control yesterday. That's double confluence there. And let's see here. A lot more selling going on yesterday. Today, this is wrong. This can't be right. That entire bar is blue, and blue is bids. Maybe it is right. Maybe retail buying the freaking high of day again, as usual. Man, oh man. Somebody's buying the high of day. Man, that's pathetic. Yeah, this was a nice one. I wish I would have been looking at it. If I would have seen it earlier, we would have already entered this one. Because this one has stalled out for 2 hours. This one has broken out. See that? That's why we had to be more cautious, because you're trying to short an asset that's strong on the day and just recently broke out. This one didn't break out. This one set in a daily resistance at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and that acted as resistance all the way until 9. So that could have been a decent short entry. You threw your stop right above the daily high, right there. Beautiful. It's too late now, but if you do get a retracement back up into this area, you could look to potentially get short. Stop above the high of day. An hourly close above 840 scraps the trade altogether. Just scrap it. It's done. So right now, limit order still setting at 0.7502 on Matic. Stop is there. 75.67. Target 73.73. ETH, the level is yesterday's 50, which is the open. Yeah. Sorry, I bought the high of day. Degen. Somebody's got to buy those highs. Yeah, they do. In order for me to get short. That is correct. That is correct. I got home too late to catch Neo. I was watching Matic. Yeah, it's all good, man. You're going to miss trades. There's an opportunity every single day. That's why it's so easy, if you miss the trade, to just wait to the next day. You don't have to chase price ever. You will get an opportunity. There is opportunities every single day. I would love for this to come back and fill me, but now you can see, once you got that, basically that confirmation, it's cutting loose, man. So hopefully it comes back. Otherwise, we'll have to wait till tomorrow. Or we could potentially watch Neo. There's not much liquidity in this. This will likely slip you. Let's see what it looks like on Bitget. Is it even on Bitget? That's the question. It is. And it looks okay on the Bitget exchange. It doesn't look that bad. But on this exchange, it looks pathetic. Yeah. We'll keep it on watch. We will keep it on watch. Matic pushing lower. Almost pushing down into our freaking target. Damn you. Damn you. Yeah. ETH just, yeah, rolled over. There was the move up. What? Wait. No. That did not just happen. No, it didn't happen on Bitget. That's bullshit. That didn't happen. It didn't happen on the one we were watching either. There. That's the one we were watching. This is the wrong one. I was getting ready to say, because we would have taken that. That's all we were waiting on, so. Yeah. FOMO is one hell of a thing, or hell of a drug. It is, and it's hard to break, but you can do it. You have to do it. You have to do it to be successful in this. It's not a matter of maybe I can, maybe I can't. You gotta. Bitcoin potentially pulling back here. Wait. Why am I getting that email? The only, yeah, I don't understand what's going on there. Maybe it's a late one. All right, so we're getting a spike on risk. So we could potentially see this come up here. That would be beautiful and fill us. Come on, baby. Get up there and fill us. That's a big candle. I mean, you've retraced the last 5 minutes worth of price action. We need that fill. Come on. You do have a 5-minute level of potential resistance here. Up into here, it might stall out. That's gonna freaking suck if we set all this up and don't get the fill, but it is what it is. That's trading. I should probably start these damn live streams a little bit earlier, but right now we're getting the open on the stock market. That's why we're getting an influx of volume here. But I was kind of hoping we would get a fill. Kind of hoping we would get that fill. It's already a 60-something pip stop, so I'm not looking to lower that entry down here. We just got to be patient. Yeah, but then we'll be, 7 a.m. Then we'll be live for 2.5 hours before the New York Open occurs. People will get bored and leave. But that's when the entries are for me. That's when we get some entries. The pound dollar trade was at the London Open, so that was real early. The London Open is the best time to trade FX. You get a lot of setups during the London Open. Yeah, I'm not really worried about it. A short, John, if you just got here, we're looking for price to trade up there. Red's risk, green is potential profit target. That's what we're setting up there. Trying to set up. And the analysis on why we're looking for short was a while back. There's a lot of reasons. Let's see here. dollar reverse course. Yeah, if it pushes down to my profit target, I'm not going to be looking to get short because that's the profit target. I mean, you can see how it's so similar but opposite. You had to move down, move up, then you traded sideways, made a double top down, traded sideways, didn't make a double bottom, but so very similar, just opposite. What time is the London Open? 3 a.m. Eastern. That's, yeah. He got you. 3 a.m. Eastern. Sometimes, you know, it's really 2 o'clock, but you get the most, like the most volume comes in around 3 o'clock. And in a lot of scenarios, the 3 o'clock candle, the 0300 or the 0300 candle is the one that is usually the high or low of day as well. So that's basically what guided the decision for the pound long. I know the Euro session or the London session usually calls the high or low of day. We made a bear trap to the downside. I assumed it was going to go higher. I figured that would be the low of day. And up until now, it is the low of day. I didn't nail the dead low. I waited for the trap to reveal itself. Similar to what we did here, right? We are waiting for the trap to reveal itself. And sometimes when it does, it's too late. That's just a part of trading. But this is the trap. It's a breakout. You broke above resistance. You made a fresh daily high. Closed strong. So we couldn't front run the order. We needed to see this be the trap. Once it revealed itself to us, a pullback would have been nice. We just didn't get it. I mean, you're pushing down into your profit target now, so unfortunately, the trade just isn't going to happen. I'm sure some people probably already took it, not being patient. And if they did, kudos. You could go ahead and start taking profits and get your risk off the table. But we may get a pullback still. I doubt it. That was the trade. And on algo, we wanted to see a fresh daily high because it's bullish. It's bullish on the week. So we had to be a little bit more. We had to be just a little bit more cautious on it because it's trending up. Its order flow is bullish. But this was a clear short. Obvious clear. What was the other one we were told we were looking at? I already forgot it. Neo. Let's get Neo back up there because maybe we get the pullback on it. No, it's not pulling back. Neo also on Bitget looks different than it did on Binance. See, on Binance, it looks different too. Which one did I look at? Oh, I did. I looked at it on Coinbase, didn't I? Or Finex. Nope. I don't remember which one we looked at, but it had a clear resistance. It had a clear resistance up there. Everything's moving lower, so we were right on direction, right on trade idea. Just didn't get the pullback to fill the entry. on the 5-minute. Like I said, if you wanted to front run it, you could have done it potentially. I wouldn't suggest doing it, but you could have done it at, 5-minute supply. Not there. Sorry, it's the wrong one. This one. Right there. You can see how you did trade up to it there and did provide an opportunity. But at that point, the trap hadn't revealed itself. You know what I mean? The trap just didn't reveal itself. So you would have been taking the trade, front running the opportunity. And those will likely get you stopped a lot if you try to do that. You will get retests. You will. It does happen. That's the safest way. It's had itself a little bit of supply issue there as well. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So there's your profit target. If you did front run it, please start taking profits now. Move your risk, move your stop to break even. That way, if you do get more downside continuation for the next several days, you will be positioned perfectly for it, and you will have zero risk on the table, and you will have already paid yourself once. The trades that keep on giving. It's a beautiful thing. And there's really no level down there anyway. So good work if you did it. Just don't get in the habit of doing that. Please wait for the pullback. You don't always get it, but you will get it occasionally, and those will be the best ones. Neo gone. Yeah, they're all gone. This is already hitting profit, so I am going to exit that limit order here, get rid of it so I don't get filled later. Because that was the trade we were looking for, right? And it's already happened. So, yeah, unfortunately, we're so annoying. We had it lined up. We had the right decision, the right direction, the right asset, the right time, everything. We just didn't get the pullback. S&P going back down to daily low. Well, it's going down to stop out London. This is your London session. Your swing down, that's your fake move. The real move occurred, and then you stalled out there, and New York took advantage of it. There wasn't a clear and obvious setup on the S&P 500. Oh, yes, there was. There was a beautiful, beautiful setup on the S&P 500. Absolutely stunning. Right there. Because you already made this candle a trap with that candle. See that? Then you retested resistance. That would have been the entry. That would have been the stop. Boom. Take profit would have been right there. See? That's exactly what we were looking at here. The exact setup. It just didn't occur on this one. But there's an obvious edge there. Frankfurt opens at 2 a.m., which brings Central Europe 3 a.m. with London. Gotcha. Well, isn't Frankfurt in Europe or around the Eurozone? I don't know where it is. Would I buy this down here, testing intraday support? Probably not. That's a lot of momentum. We typically don't want to see that. Also, you're bearish. You're bearish on the week, on the day, probably. Oh, not this one. Sorry. Yeah, you're bearish on the day. Now, you weren't earlier, but it would have been a clear, obvious short. Not looking like a trap. Looking like downside continuation. Would you rather fight a wizard or Baraka from Mortal Kombat? What, do I get weapons or a shield? I don't know. Baraka's a pretty badass dude, so. But a wizard could turn me into a frog or something, right? Dude, why do you give me a question with no way for me to have victory? Do you wish to see me doomed? I mean, if I got a sword and a shield, I think I would take my chances with Baraka because he's not magical. And if I cut his arms off, he can't hurt me. So my answer is Baraka. If I get a shield and a sword. Baraka. Hopefully that's the right answer, Joe. Or Slothbag, sorry. Bummer, we missed them tonight. Bedtime for me. Good luck, everyone. Good night. Good night. Yep, we'll be back Tuesday morning for the live stream for the public. We'll do the same thing. We'll set up some trades and we'll knock them down. We get a very good hit rate, so on taking trades. Might as well subscribe if you're not. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday. Bitcoin's not getting an outsized move to the downside here. Bitcoin is still very much green on the day. One could, your last bullish hope would probably be demand at 18,876. You definitely don't want to see any hourly closes under that. If you think you're going to see bullish continuation, it is possible that the markets find support, but I mean, the short was definitely there on most of the assets that we were watching. Ethereum had another bigger move than Bitcoin. Pushing down, so there is still a potential entry on Ethereum. Even on this, but just understand that the trade that we were looking for has already happened. It's already happened. It's done. So if it does come back there, I mean, be careful. Ethereum, there's going to be supply right there, 1295.95. Plus that puts you under $1,300, which is a big figure. It could potentially see this act as resistance on any pullback to it. Also, the midpoint of this downside candle is roughly right in there. So you could see this act as resistance later on into the day. But once again, yeah, the trade is more than likely already gone. But we'll keep it on watch for the day. We're 9:45, so usually the first 15 minutes is when you get the most volume you're going to see on the day. So let's pull up the S&P 500. Yeah, and it was a light volume day compared to what yesterday brought, but heavier volume than what we seen yesterday morning. But you can see that, volume, the first 15 minutes is generally when you get the last influx of volume, and then it pretty much trends lower for the rest of the day. And then sometimes at the end of the day, you'll get an influx of volume, but typically it won't be, it just depends, I guess. Yesterday, or this day over here, you did get another influx of volume at the end of the day. But I don't take trades at the end of the day. I like to take them at the beginning of the day. But you have taken out pre-market lows on the SPY. You're getting downside continuation. It was a beautiful, beautiful setup we had. We just We could not get our entry. But watch Ethereum for 1295 for potential short side continuation. Your stop would have to be high of day still, so that's going to be a wide stop loss. But if you're going to see multiple days of downside continuation, that's going to be a decent spot for an entry. So with that, I guess we'll wrap it up. You guys have a fantastic day. If you got any questions, you can always ask in the comment section. I do read them all. Thank you guys for your time. Thank you for being here. I already said that. So yeah, we'll see you Tuesday morning again for another session of trying to nail these intraday opportunities with the best free strategy on YouTube. You guys have a fantastic day. Make sure you trade safe. Make sure you trade smart. And as always, happy trading, everybody.